The New York Yankees have made a massive move by picking up Aaron Boone's 2025 club option, with general manager Brian Cashman praising the work that Boone has done to get the Yankees to the World Series and making the adjustments that had to be made. And this has Yankee fans pretty fired up, as there's been a lot of differing feelings on Aaron Boone and whether he should still be the manager of the New York Yankees. And we're going to break this all down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here. And real quick, guys, only 17% of viewers are subscribed who are watching this. Let's get those numbers up, guys. I know we could do it. If you like the content, make sure to subscribe. It helps us out a lot at the channel. But let's talk about some baseball. The New York Yankees announced that they have exercised their 2025 club option for Aaron Boone. He's back. Now, there's a lot of differing feelings on Aaron Boone. Some people like the work that he's done. Some people do not like the work that he's done. And look, frankly, if you've been following the channel for a good amount of time, you would know I'm not a big fan of Aaron Boone at all. I honestly thought that when they lost in Game 5 of the World Series, it would be the last game that Aaron Boone would ever manage for the Yankees. But the Yankees clearly like Aaron Boone a lot and don't want to get rid of him. And, I mean, I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. Looking back on it, the job he did in the playoffs wasn't bad at all. He made good rotations. He was willing to switch up the batting order to get Stanton into the correct spots for him to be his best self. Obviously, a big part of the hitting was the fact that Aaron Judge just went absolutely ice cold in the playoffs once again. And you can't really blame Aaron Boone for that. It's not his fault. Like, you want your manager to be able to get the best out of their players, especially your superstar captain, in the biggest moments. But it's also not entirely just on Aaron Boone for that to happen. That's also on Judge. So it's really mostly on Judge. It's not really on Aaron Boone that much. But obviously there's been a lot of differing reports and differing feelings on the way that Aaron Boone has managed his team. And here's what we do know for a fact. That is that Brian Cashman does like Aaron Boone. He's a big fan of Boone. He said it. He's been on the record saying he wants to bring Aaron Boone back, and he thinks that Aaron Boone is an excellent manager. And let's take a dive into these comments, because he did mention, he said, clearly on the list of things to do. Obviously, we have a little more time on the clock, and those conversations will probably start in the next few days when discussing if they were going to even bring Boone back. And from there, it turned into the Yankees wanting to bring him back. As Cashman mentioned, I'm a big Aaron Boone fan. I think he's a great manager, and we've been lucky to have him. But obviously, let's walk through the process and have the conversations that haven't been had with the people above me. So essentially, Hal Steinbrenner, the owner. What the ownership thinks of Aaron Boone obviously is more important than what Cashman thinks, because ownership will just thwart that and basically tell Aaron Boone to kick rocks, essentially. Now, Cashman also mentioned that the fact that he is the same person day in and day out, despite the storms that come and go, he has our players' backs, and having someone with that type of consistency and personality is so vital to the pressure cooker of New York. It can't be overstated. Well, look, here's the deal with Aaron Boone. Yes, he has the players' backs. We know he is a player-friendly manager. He's a players' manager. He's one of those guys, he rides for his players, and obviously that's a good thing for the most part, but there are times when you'd wish that Aaron Boone was a little bit different and making a little bit different decisions than he's making. So I think looking at Aaron Boone, there's a lot of differing feelings towards the guy, and I mean, look, yeah, it's great that he's a player's manager and all of that, and we saw one of the reasons why the New York Yankees and Joe Girardi split up is because Girardi was definitely hard on the players. But I don't need the manager to be the player's best friend. Now, at the same time, it got them to the World Series. They've made the playoffs most years under Boone, though I'm not going to give Boone a ton of credit for that because the great rosters the Yankees have had, and it does feel like Boone sometimes can make poor decisions, but he has done a few things correctly for sure that deserve him to keep this job. I mean, getting rid of Clay Holmes as your closer when the man forgot how to be a closer and putting in Luke Weaver, who looked very solid, was a good move by Aaron Boone. He didn't just leave Clay Holmes out there to rot. He let Weaver come in and show that he's a solid pitcher. Now, obviously, that playoff performance was not great. Giving up the home run to Big Christmas wasn't great. But the Yankees won that series, luckily, so we all kind of forgot about that. And frankly, it's like, I mean, look, he just became a closer, like, it's a tough situation to be put in when you're playing for a contender, the number one seed, the team that was supposed to make the World Series, and that did make the World Series. So, I mean, look, Boone was the manager on a World Series team, and it makes you think, okay, if he's going to be a manager on a team in the World Series, I think it's fair to pick up that club option and let him run it back at least one more year, because he just had his best season ever as a manager. First seed in the American League, made the World Series. Obviously, the World Series wasn't great, but the Dodgers are just such a stacked up, overpowered team. You can't just blame Aaron Boone for that. And I'm not a big fan of Aaron Boone, but still, I stand by. Here's the deal. You cannot blame the guy for the fact that the Dodgers are overpowered. And even Dave Roberts mentioned he did not want to go back to LA in Game 6 and have to play the Yankees. He saw them getting momentum, and it would have turned into something worse for them. Now, Boone, since joining the Yankees, the record's good. 603 wins, 429 losses, 58 win-loss record percentage, and obviously, he never has had under 500 because it's the Yankees, so it's interesting to see where they're going to go with Aaron Boone in the future and how much longer he's going to be the Yankee manager, but we do know he's going to be the Yankee manager next season, and I think he deserves it. Look, I have my gripes with Aaron Boone. I think we all have our gripes with him, but making the World Series is definitely... Look, they should have made the World Series in other years that he was the manager also. But he just made it. They're figuring things out, and the Yankees have a good energy around them for the first time since 2022. It felt like the energy was so weird in the 2023 season when they went 82-80, and now it felt weird at one point, it felt great at another, and then they made the World Series and the vibes were immaculate. I think you have to give Aaron Boone the chance for him to go out there and prove why he deserves to be the manager of this team another year, considering that World Series appearance. It just makes sense to me to give him that opportunity to go out there and do that. It really feels like Aaron Boone's gotten better at being a manager over his tenure with the New York Yankees, and I don't mind that he's going to have another year as a manager. I just wonder how much farther it's going to stretch out from there. But then raises the question, who the hell is going to even be the manager? So it becomes a whole different thing. But guys, I want to know what y'all think. Are you happy that Aaron Boone is back? Do you wish the Yankees let him go and hired someone else? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Also, if you want to see more of this and hear more of my golemized, sick voice right now, check out Knicks Digest. I have a live stream coming out tonight at 6 p.m. It's called Knicks Digest Happy Hour. It's a great time. You can also find me on Yankees Digest, I meant to say Jets Digest. You can find me anywhere there, guys. Have a great day, and go Yankees. Boone's back. I don't know if I'm happy about that.